Hello there guys, I am the CHALL, your sports channel, and welcome to this transfer update. Now today we've had official news about 10 minutes ago as of recording this. Callum Wilson has made the official move to Newcastle on a 4-year deal for £20 million. We're going to be speaking about all the transfers with Newcastle because we've got some little details about two other deals that are set to go through this week for another Bournemouth player and a now former Norwich player. And in this video we're going to share with you all the details surrounding the finalisation of the Wilson transfer and share with you my thoughts on the whole Newcastle situation as well, because I've got some interesting thoughts about what it could be. Now before we get started guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another video from the Golden State Warrior of football. And for now guys, let's get into this video and let's talk about Callum Wilson leaving Bournemouth for Newcastle United. So the information is from Sky Sports Football, and Wilson is set to link up with former teammate Ryan Fraser, Norwich left-back Jamal Lewis, who's also set for a medical at Newcastle. Now Callum Wilson has signed for Newcastle from Bournemouth on a 4-year deal for £20 million. Wilson turned down an Aston Villa move and flew from the south coast to Tyneside in Mike Ashley's private helicopter to complete the deal, leaving Bournemouth after 6 years following their relegation to the Sky Bet Championship. Wilson becomes the third highest transfer fee paid by Newcastle for a player, behind Joe Linton, which was £40 million from Hoffenheim in 2019, and Miguel Almiron for £21 million from Atlanta United in 2019. And of course Almiron was the joint record transfer fee at the time last year with the signing of Michael Owen back in the day. So, you know, they're starting to break records a bit more now. Now, from the minute they knew it was Newcastle, they were interested, it was definitely something that appealed to me. This is what Callum Wilson told the club's official website. It's a massive club with great history, and along the years they've had great strikers, so if I can emulate half of what they've done, I'd like to attempt that. And then Newcastle United put a Twitter post out saying, #NUFC are delighted to announce the signing of Callum Wilson from at AFC Bournemouth on a 4-year deal. Welcome, Callum. Now he said, I believe in my ability as a player and as a striker. I think it's important to set yourself goals long term and short term, and I'm hoping to achieve them. With the players around me, I believe we can get the goals we need as a team, and we want to help to contribute to that. Now the 28-year-old striker, who capped 4 times for England, is set to link up with his former Scottish teammate Ryan Fraser, who has agreed a deal to join Newcastle as a free agent. He will undergo a medical today, so we're possibly going to hear Ryan Fraser's deal being done today as well. Now, of course, the duo holds the record for the most Premier League goal combinations, 12 in a 38-game season, which was set in the 18-19 season. Now, Wilson scored 67 goals and 180 appearances for Bournemouth after arriving from Coventry in 2014, and also attracted interest from Fulham, West Ham and Tottenham this summer. He was previously linked with a move to Chelsea as well. Now, he scored 8 Premier League goals last season, but it wasn't enough to help the Cherries survive as their 5-year stint in the top flight came to an end. Now, Newcastle, meanwhile, have agreed a £15 million fee for left-back Jamal Lewis with Norwich on Saturday, with the player set for a medical tomorrow on Tuesday. Now, Bournemouth also remain interested in former player and current Newcastle player Matt Ritchie, who signed a new Newcastle deal in March, although the midfielder's wages may be an issue. Now, Steve Bruce came out and said Callum is somebody I've admired for a long time and I'm delighted to get him. He's done fantastically well at Bournemouth and was deservedly playing centre forward for England less than 2 years ago. The club has worked ever so hard to get Callum here, and we have beaten off competition from a number of clubs. I'm grateful the club has made it happen, and Lee Charnley and those behind the scenes deserve a lot of credit. So there we go. So amidst all the, ownership crisis with Mike Ashley, the parasite Mike Ashley, there's some positivity around Newcastle, somewhat. The fact they've got Callum Wilson, they're going to get Ryan Fraser, hopefully done today as well. They've got Jamal Lewis coming in for a medical tomorrow. So it's a new left back, a new striker and a new winger. That's, improvement in positions. And, if Ritchie doesn't go, then that's another player they've kept, with the wages being a problem for Bournemouth if they do want to re-sign him to help them get back into the Premier League. But in terms of focusing on the Callum Wilson signature, I'm a big fan of this signing. And I'm a big fan of this signing because aside from all the injuries he's had over the last couple of years, he is a decent striker. He's a goal scorer, he's a natural goal threat, and when you bring Fraser into the mix as well, you've got one of, well, to be honest, probably, arguably the most dangerous Premier League attacking link-up in the Premier League today. And, Wilson and... I mean, the stats don't lie. Wilson and Fraser are a great link-up. And I mean, if you put Fraser on the opposite wing to Alan St-Maximin, and you put Wilson up front, either in a partnership with Joe Linton or as a solo striker, so you either play like a 4-3-3 or you play like a 4-2-2-2, I guess, or a 4-4-2 with attacking winger cams, as Fraser and Maximin. Then you have the partnership of Joe Linton and Wilson. Now, of course, Newcastle were after a striker. I think it was very, very clear that, Joe Linton did okay this past season, but not as many goals as they would have expected or hoped for. So they did need another goal threat, and Callum Wilson statistically is the goal threat. Now, I think with bringing in another left back with Jamal Lewis, I think that's going to give them extra depth in that option. I think it'll be a great option for the club. And like I said, Fraser on the opposite wing as Maximin, you've got two pacey wingers going on that opposite side. So I think no matter what happens with the ownership, I think that Steve Bruce does have a game plan. And I think, there's no hiding for Steve Bruce now. I think that, whatever we want to say about Mike Ashley, obviously Mike Ashley's not been involved with the transfer, so we can't exactly, contribute Mike Ashley to all this. He's a parasite, he deserves to go. Lee, behind the scenes, he's fair play, he's given him credit, they've backed him. They've given him the funds to succeed. 20 million for Callum Wilson. Can I say Callum Fraser? Free agent Ryan Fraser, which is a bargain, by the way, because he's a quick winger and it's a free agent, so you're not really spending any money. And obviously about £13.5 million for Jamal Lewis from Norwich. So in total, nearly £35 million, around the £33.5 million mark. On two players, and then add the free agent, who is a strong free agent in the mix, to make it three. That's actually a very decent selection of signings. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, I'm not changing my stance on Newcastle's ownership whatsoever. I don't think Mike Ashley should stay. I think he should go. I think with Lee backing Bruce, I think, like I said, Steve Bruce has got nowhere to hide. He's been given the backing from Lee, not from Mike, the parasite, but Lee, who's actually given him some backing, and he's given them credit for that. If Newcastle don't get higher than top 10 this season, you've only got to look at Steve Bruce and he's got to go. And if he doesn't play the right football, then, then Steve Bruce has got to go. He's got to go. And, I think this is a crucial season for Newcastle because obviously the takeover stuff fell through. How is that going to affect the on-pitch situation? Is it going to worm its way into the heads of the new signings, Wilson, Fraser and Lewis? What about the current players? What are their positions going to be like? Are some of them that are usually playing first-team football, are they going to be threatened? Is Joe Linton's position threatened by the likes of Wilson? Is the winger options going to be, threatened by Fraser? I know Richie does play fullback sometimes, but if Richie plays wing as well, is he going to be pushed to fullback, like left back or something? And then with Lewis coming in as well as Fraser, does that further push Richie out the door? There's a lot of ins and outs rumours at Newcastle United, so it should be interesting to see what's going to happen with Newcastle. And like I said, I don't change my stance. The owners should go. Mike Ashley should be kicked out the door and sent on a train back to Neverland where Peter Pan can attack him with his sword or something. But, or he can get tied up by Captain Hook and Mr. Smee and, can make him walk the plank in a tank infested of sharks. I think the saying is you can fly, but I think Mike Ashley, with his reign of Newcastle, it's you can flop. But my stance doesn't change. Mike Ashley should go. But if Lee's going to back him, then hopefully the new owners will have Lee involved in some way. I know Lee's caused massive unrest with the fan base, but if he's going to back Bruce, then Bruce has got to repay that with results on the pitch. If they do that, then Lee should stay on as a part of the board, maybe not as important as now, because of course the new owners, whoever they'll be, would want to come in and make it, a proper new board. But if Lee's going to back the manager and they've delivered results, and then they're going to get a new takeover the following season, then maybe Lee gets involved in a little way. Not as much as now, but maybe in a little way, just to have a taste of that thing. But if he wants to leave after this season, fair play. And if Newcastle go out with the old ownership on a high finish, Mike Ashley can do one. Lee can go out and say, you know what, I backed him, we got some results, I leave on a high as myself. Mike Ashley maybe not, but I leave on some kind of high. Then the new owners come in and make Newcastle a massive, massive club. And that is my hope. I mean, to be honest, the most likely situation is that Mike Ashley will get a new ownership takeover deal. He will want more money, the Premier League will stall it, and then they'll back out, which is usually the story of the last one. But I feel sorry for Newcastle fans for still having Ashley as an owner, but on the plus side, at least you've got 3 new signings to look forward to. Fraser, attacking winger. Wilson, brilliant striker. Lewis, young fullback, up and coming. And yeah, you've got 3 signings to look forward to this season. So there we go. So that is my video on Newcastle United. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. Comment down below, Newcastle fans, what your thoughts on the signing of Callum Wilson, as well as the bringing in of Ryan Fraser and Jamal Lewis. I mean, by the time this is uploaded, Fraser might have already been announced. We don't know yet. For now, guys, I'm the CHALL, your sports channel, and goodbye.